Hi, I'm Joe Valento, and you're on the Fast 15.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning back in. This is Roger Johnson with the Fast 15 on Fridays, where we take young guys and interview them and give them their 15 minutes of fame. And this week, episode 9, Joe Valento. Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Young guys, new kind of to the Cars Tour. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about your 2021 plans, who you're driving for, what's going on.
Yeah, so our plans this year are to run the full Cars Tour schedule with David Gilliland Racing, and just a few other different local races to pick up whenever we can, and just get a little bit more seat time and experience in these late model stocks, it being my first year running these things.
Sure, it's different. Let's go back a little bit. You're in great hands with DGR, right? The guys that use our stuff for a long time. I think you'll do well in that stuff. Tell us about your backstory. A lot of people don't know you. You're kind of new to the late model stock car scene. Where'd you start? Where are you from? What have you done?
Yeah, so we started out in Quarter Midgets when I was 8 years old. I'm from Scandia, Minnesota. Not really race car country when you think of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we started with Quarter Midgets. There we had a local dirt track and a local asphalt track. So we'd run at the dirt track, which was actually at Cedar Lake Speedway. The World of Outlaws run there,
Yes.
I think, once or twice a year. And they had a little indoor dirt track in the back of the big track. And so we'd run there on Saturdays with our 2 dirt cars, and then we'd run at Elko on Sunday with our 2 little cars. So we kept busy doing that for about 3 to 4-ish years, and then we switched over to the more traveling series, which was USAC .25.
Sure.
And we ran that for about a year and a half. We jumped in kind of half a year in 2016, then we ran the full season in 2017, and then from there we made the jump into a micro sprint, and we ran that for a year, dabbled a little bit in Legends. We were kind of waiting for the new motor to come out before we had bought it. So we bought the Legend, ran a little bit of that. We ran a road course actually at Charlotte, the Winter Heat Series. So we got to experience that. That was a lot of fun. Enjoyed that. And then in 2019, we made the step with Kelly Byers up in Wisconsin, KBR Performance, running in the Midwest Truck Series. So we ran a truck in 2019, and we got Rookie of the Year that year. And then we ran a truck last year with Kelly as well. So the past couple years have been in the trucks with Kelly up in, I guess, Midwest area, mostly Wisconsin. They've got about 5 or 6 different tracks up there. They run in the truck series, which is a little bit of a touring series. They run pretty much all the tracks up there. And then now, knowing down south is a little bit more race car country,
Sure.
that we had to be down here.
Yeah, I think that's great. David and I are pretty good friends and speak quite a bit. Tell me what it's like for people that don't know, that haven't been in the DGR's program. Tell me what it's like to be involved with a program like that that's got, had great ARCA success, had great truck success, had great late model stock car success. Why choose them?
Yeah, obviously, it's a great confidence booster. It's everyone talks about the environment at DGR, and it is a great environment. It's one of the type of place where you walk in and everyone says hello, they wave to you, ask how you're doing, are willing to answer any questions, no matter how stupid you may think they are.
Sure.
It's very welcoming and opening arms kind of.
Sure.
For me, being a rookie, it's great. I've got a great set of guys around me, a great crew. Obviously, Greg Marlowe, very experienced in the stock car world. So it's been great so far.
Yeah, that's awesome. Didn't come from a racing family. How has that been? Has it been harder? I'm sure you have peers that are definitely from racing families. Do you find that to be harder, or do you like the fact that it's you kind of trudging your way through it?
My dad grew up on snowmobiles his whole life.
Yeah.
So, he's been around the engine stuff, and he knew, he's obviously mechanical.
Sure.
And knowing how to work on stuff. So As far as it being challenging, I mean, not super hard. I mean, obviously, being younger, I didn't know how to work on cars, and that was for him a big step, learning how to set up all the quarter midgets because we did all of our own stuff.
Sure.
So obviously, the big car stuff, we knew we'd have to get some help on, but I mean, it's different. Obviously, coming from not a racing family, it's just a different way to do it. I guess it's not. I guess I'm not say it's not uncommon. I mean, a lot of people do it.
Sure.
But I don't know. It's not a big deal, I wouldn't say.
Where do you find your biggest challenges to come? Like, a lot of young people, some people, they struggle with, brakes of the car. Some people struggle with the power of the car. Some people struggle with the car just being quite a bit bigger and harder to manipulate than cars that they have come from in the past. As a rookie guy now that's got, quite a few tests and won Cars Tour race under his belt, what do you have to say for other guys that have been on this show that quite haven't gotten an opportunity to run a Cars Tour event? Can you give them a little piece of insight that they may be able to, save them some steps for their first Cars Tour race?
Yeah, so, I mean, the biggest thing, obviously, is to soak it in. And everyone says that, is just to, I mean, for us, really, what I did during practice was get out behind someone that's fast.
Sure.
Figure out their line, figure out their braking points, their throttle points. I've come from... So I ran the truck, obviously, which is a crate motor. It's a little bit less horsepower, but I've run a few different super races, so power wasn't a huge thing for me.
Sure.
Braking's a little bit different. It's a longer throw in the late model stock, so meaning that you have to press a little bit further to get to the brake pressure that you need.
Yep.
So, I mean, just the biggest thing is, like I said, just soak it in, learn as much as you can, ask questions. That's the biggest thing, really.
Right. There's definitely a lot going on, right? It's definitely an overwhelming day. You, like so many kids that I've gotten the opportunity to speak to or to kind of watch go from, starting out to bigger cars. We're a quarter midget kid, that's something that's very dear to my heart. That's kind of the spot that I went with my son. And Tell me about that. Do you believe that's played a role into your success that you've had so far? Do you think that was a great starting spot? Do you think there was, you picked up a lot of things that you've been able to use throughout your career? We seem to have an overwhelming theme of these quarter midget kids coming in and doing great things throughout it. Has that been the case here where that's kind of added to your success now?
I mean, quarter midgets are a great option, obviously. Sure. You have pretty much for younger kids, it's flat track go-karts, right, road course racing, or... quarter midgets. So I think quarter midgets are a good step because it is a smaller scale, basically, of a big car.
Yeah.
And it gets you basically all the same things. You learn how to arc your corners to get through as fast as you can, where to pick up your throttles. And obviously when you're younger, it kind of goes through one ear and then out the other. But once you're, your later years in quarter midgets, you start to understand a little bit. And it's where you can start to relay feedback to the person that's doing, the work on your cars, and you can learn how to do the setups and stuff. Because quarter midgets, once you learn how to do it, it's not too difficult.
Right?
No, so the older kids are able to learn and pick up some things, and that you can take and then, use on the big car stuff.
For sure. We do a lightning round here. We ask a bunch of random questions, and we get a chance to people out there to kind of get to know you a little bit. Some of them you may know, some of them you may not know. Do you? I know the answers to some of them. So if you get stuck, we'll work together to do it. You run an AR or 5-star body?
5-star.
You like the old body look or the new body look?
I mean, the new body looks cool, but as far as performance, a lot of people say the old body's just as good.
I agree. I'm not saying that is right or is not right, but I agree. A lot of people saying that right now. It's an interesting fact to me. 5-star says otherwise, by the way. I have called and asked, but that's just is what it is. Are you a coilover or a big spring race car?
We're big spring race car.
Okay, yeah. You like big tracks or short tracks?
So I run the Milwaukee Mile. And that was a blast, actually. Yeah, we
What'd
ran
you
that in the
run that
trucks. In the truck series.
Wow.
We ran that. That was back in 2019 last year. Obviously, we couldn't run it because of COVID, but we were able to run that. I think they are this year as well.
Yes.
They run it with the supers. They do a double show, which is, I mean, it's a blast. It's a lot of fun to run. Mostly it's all short track racing for me, though. So right now, short track racing's a blast.
Yeah, that had to be a blast. That's definitely a bucket list item, right, to run at that place. There's been a lot of legends come through there.
For sure.
I never run a bush race there, a nationwide race there. Had the opportunity a couple times. It was just a great place, great atmosphere, great people, amazing. It's a good one. PFC, Brembo, or other? Brakes?
I believe it's PFC.
I believe it is too. I believe it is too. Ford or Chevy?
Ford.
Ford. No question. Didn't even hesitate. I have to put that in there once in a while. I'll catch grief for that. But tell me about your biggest wreck. Have you had any big ones?
I mean, quarter midgets, obviously, you have the flips and
Right,
tumbles.
they flip
they
all
go
over.
flipping and they pick up speed.
Yeah,
with
it
their
could be
flipping.
that too, right? Like, could be that. It could be anything. We like to hear about people's biggest wrecks. Usually, they want to tell us.
I mean, I knock on wood. I don't know if this is wood
No,
table,
yeah, it is.
but
It was plastic.
I
That
haven't
was
really
wood.
had too bad a wrecks. My
Good.
first ever wreck in a truck, I backed it into the wall pretty hard. I mean,
Sure.
other than that, though, in big cars, I
Not
haven't
bad.
really had a bad wreck.
Nice. That's exceptionally good. It's exceptionally good. Tell us all through your career so far, right? You're still a young guy, but tell us what's your biggest racing moment? Like, what's one of them that when I say it, it just pops in your mind? You know?
Probably either the Milwaukee Mile.
Sure.
That was my second race ever in a truck. So my second race ever in a stock car was at the Milwaukee Mile, going about 140 miles an hour.
Good
So
times.
that was a blast.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things about that race weekend was that we sat on the pole, and we do group qualifying, and the group before us had laid down oil everywhere. We got one lap for qualifying. We sat on the pole, so
That's
that
awesome.
was just one of those things where it's just funny. A rookie goes there, and I mean, but that shows you how good Kelly's stuff really is.
Yeah.
He's so meticulous, and I mean, like we said earlier, stuff's 110% before it hits the track.
That's awesome, and that's what you need. You definitely don't want to second guess what you got when you get out there. At that point, it's a little too late,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, what's your favorite superhero?
Superhero.
This one stumps people. Most racers don't talk about superheroes.
No.
We talk about them in here, so we like to throw the curveballs at you.
I'd either say either the Flash or Superman.
Nice, the Flash. Yes, that's a good one. I don't think we've had that yet. That is a good one. Well done. That was great. Thanks. I like that.
Thank you.
Hidden talent. Should we ask your parents about this one? I'm sure they got a bunch of good hidden talents for you.
I don't know a lot of
You got nothing?
I don't really have a whole lot of hidden talents. I mean, I hunt, snowmobile, four-wheel, and fish
Outdoor guy.
outside of racing.
Yeah,
I don't know about a lot of hidden talents, but I guess I'm not a crazy dude.
that's okay. No, some people draw, other people do all kind of. We learned all kind of things on this show. It's the superhero thing's got me. I like that. That was really good. What's the favorite thing that you put on your pizza?
Pizza? Any meat.
Any meat.
Any meat and all meat.
You're a meat pizza guy.
Yep.
That's awesome. In the truck, you ran number 30, if I'm not mistaken. Is there a reason behind that number? Is there something, your family, maybe, your dad worked on a car that was number 30? Was there a reason behind your number?
It was always number 3 when I was younger. I think it was maybe in micro sprints someone had taken it, so it just had gradually switched to 30, and I don't know, I liked it. It sticked. Not a lot of people have it.
Sure.
It's not a super common number, and I don't know, it just kind of sticked, and that's what I ran.
That's awesome. We find a lot of time there's an interesting tidbits or facts behind people's numbers, and that's become an interesting story for people to share. Tell us about your plans moving forward, right? Like your short-term plans. Definitely, you're going to finish out this deal with DGR. What's your plan after that? I mean, have you looked that far, or are you just trying to take it day by day? What do you want to do, right? Like, let's leave Dad out of it for a second. What if you could have it the way that you want it? What would that be?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously finish the season, like you said, with DGR, and, I mean, everyone always says it's money,
Sure.
but it depends on what it is. But I'd love to keep going up year by year with DGR. I mean, going up to the ARCA series and then eventually the truck series. I'd love to stick with Ford, maybe go to Stewart Haas, run the Xfinity for, I'd love to run the truck a couple years and then move up to the Xfinity. I'd love to run with Stewart Haas for a couple years and then eventually do the Cup stuff. I mean, that'd be really ideal.
Listen, if David keeps going like he is, he'll have his own Cup cars before long, right? That
I
guy
know.
has, in the last 5 years, really built a great program down there. That's attributed to all those guys. Is finding money your hardest problem? Do you think that's the biggest? Is that the biggest? That's a lot of young guys say that's their biggest setback.
Yeah,
you know?
that's everyone's biggest problem, and it's tough these days. Obviously with the whole thing with last year,
COVID,
and,
sure.
Business struggling, it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're with a really good group of guys down there. I'm interested to see your career progress and go through. And you're a bright young man with a great family that's definitely behind you, trying to back you. And that's a huge part of of what you have going. I hope you understand how blessed you are to have that. Man, that's going to do it about for what we have going here on the Fast 15. Check them out. Give us one more thing. Tell us about the people that help you, right? There's definitely some people that help you. Tell us about them. The sponsorships that you have, any people that, your parents go through
Yeah,
the
for sure.
washing
For
machine
sure.
trying to help as much as possible. Tell us about people that help you outside of your parents.
Yeah, so obviously David Gilliland Racing for giving me the opportunity to run for them this year.
Sure.
Ford Performance, Nitro Lubricants, Napa Auto Parts, the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation, and Raceface Brand Development.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, those are all guys that, man, maybe you could reach out to. And if you're anybody out there that's want to help a young guy, this is the guy. We'll put all this social media stuff down below, and you can definitely get a hold of them. They're a great family. Maybe you're a guy from up north that's got a business up there that you'd like to put this guy's face on something. You should definitely reach out and do it. And as always, man, thank you for coming in and giving us your time, and definitely wish you the best of luck going forward.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem. And thank you guys for tuning in again. We keep doing these. We actually got some long form content we're going to do here in the next little bit. Some longer interviews with some people inside the industry. So make sure you keep checking back. Check our Facebook and our Instagram. We do a little Twitter, but we're not as good at it, so we keep going. And appreciate every one of you. Subscribe. We'll keep firing these things out at you. Have a great day.